Aaron Glenn. Defend the Glenn has been the statement all year. In fact, I tried getting my girl to make me a shirt of that today, and she refused.
Yeah. Well, here's the apology form. I got the official apology form for everybody.
Yes. This is perfect. All right, because we need to know why you guys are acting foolishness, and you have every reason to check off here. Was it because Twitter had you get going? I know there's a lot of people on Twitter tweeting stupid stuff all the time. Did you fall for it? Did you only look at defense, DVOA? You forgot the context I was telling you about earlier, how young the team is, how many times this guy's even played the safety position in Kirby Joseph. Were you jealous of Aaron Glenn? Now, I could see that because he does look like the new improved Ryan Ermanni a little bit.
Does a little bit.
A former NFL player, probably makes millions of dollars. That's fair. I mean, that's how you feel, sure. I don't watch the actual games. Now I'm starting to think that's the biggest one, the most consistent one we're going to see checked on there.
Yeah, I think the next one is too.
Next one, I don't know football. That actually, you're right, Smitty.
Check all that apply.
I'm not one that admits being wrong too often. I was wrong there. That's probably the one that applies the most. I don't know football. And the other one is just 60 years of hurt, pretty much, essentially. The text too small for you to read.
But the bottom contract.
I will hereby respect Aaron Glenn, and I will not talk down on the greatest DC. Oh, my line. That last line a little crazy.
That's a stretch.
A little bit of a stretch, but I know that you have the numbers on the past 5 games since the firing of Aubrey Pleasant. It's like 19.8 points per game.
19.8 points per game in the last 5, 375.4 total yards per game in the last 5. And if you compare it to our season stats, on the season lines, they're giving up 27 points per game and 402 total yards. So they're down 8 points and 25 yards per game in this 5-game stretch. That's pretty good.
Averaging now 1.8 turnovers per game since the firing of Aubrey Pleasant. And like you said too, like the firing, maybe it had to happen just to wake everybody up. It forced a players only meeting that had to do it, but it's working. And then again, guys, this is like not coaching anything differently. They're not doing anything different. The team was so damn young and not healthy too. Even some of the young guys that we got to address not being talented, like Josh Pascal, wasn't even capable of playing until like the Cowboys game. Mm-hmm. Then he finally showed up and played very well without a camp, might I mention. Like, these guys are learning the game. I hate saying this every single week. I just don't know if people know. Because it blows my mind. It's kind of like a lot of the golf stuff. It's like, it's Kirby Joseph. This is the second year playing the safety position. Hit the like button if you haven't heard that already. I'm just happy it's a thing now. I clipped Dan Campbell saying, "Shit, boys, looks like we got a defense now." Yeah. And I've wanted to post that since the offseason when Hard Knocks was going on. I mean, I know you gave me the center stage for this one, Spinny, but like I've been saying the same speech all year long.
Yeah, you have been. You have been defending the Glenn. You have been raising a flag for house patience, and it's impressive because I was pretty ticked off. I think the night after the game, I was pretty intoxicated and I was mad. I think it was the Seahawks game.
Yes,
and I was screaming. And then we came in the next Monday, and you're like, "Were you serious?" I was like, "No, I'm not ready to fire him yet." I was just a little mad, but he's on the hot seat, and so far he has turned up. He has this defense moving. He has these guys ripping balls off, getting in passing lanes. Yeah, pause. Getting in passing lanes, picking off, passes. I was going to say picking off balls. Chilling balls for a little bit. Huh? Hey, it's impressive to see what they're doing. Alex Anzalone's playing out of his mind. In this 5-game stretch, Alex Anzalone has been playing lights out. You see him just taking pieces and putting them in. Taking a 6th-round rookie linebacker, putting him in. Yeah. Dude's playing out of his mind. Taking a project rookie safety, putting him in. Did he struggle at first? Yes, but look at him now. The guy's balling. Taking a 6th-round rookie edge rusher, putting him in. What's he doing? He's going crazy. This guy, Aaron Glenn, on par with Dan Campbell, coaching these guys up, having them in the right situations, making sure they're disciplined, making sure they're going. Everyone was calling Jeff Okudah a bust. A bust for the first, 3 years of his career.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends, Mustache, number 1 Jeff Okudah hater, number 1 bullshit guy. No, he was a big Jeff Okudah hater, and I would always talk him down. I'm like, dude, we haven't even seen him for a full season yet, really. He's been injured. He's in this Matt Patricia trash defense. Give him some time. Give him a full season, and then I'll make a judgment on him. And guess what? He's had a full season this year, and the dude is playing fantastic. He's playing like a first-round cornerback. Maybe not the number 3 overall pick in the draft, and that's why I understand. That's why a lot of Lions fans have resentment for him. But the guy is playing lights out. He is one of your most consistent players on defense, probably the best player on your defense.
He's your best cornerback for damn
In
sure.
and out, best cornerback by far. In and out, week by week, every week. And it's not just his coverage skills. It's not just him being physical in the line of scrimmage with these receivers and using his big body and speed to catch up and break up passes. It's his tackling. It's his help in the run game. And that isn't something that you can teach. That isn't something that you're gifted with, is good tackling and helping in the run game. That is buying in. That is being coached up. That is having your coach tell these guys, we need hats on the ball. We need all of you rallying to the tackles, and that's what they're doing. They're playing great on defense. Like you said, they're only averaging under 20 points allowed per game in these past 5 games. They have, 1.8 turnovers a game. They're playing outstanding football, and it's impressive to watch, especially with the lack of talent that they have on there. Because I don't think anybody's going to sit here and say, oh, that defense is littered with all-stars. Maybe in 3 years, these guys are all rookies or second-year players, and they're going out there and balling. Give me Jalen Carter. Give me Joey Porter Jr. Next year, it's upper half defense, maybe top 10. If you give me Jalen Carter and Joey Porter Jr. in that draft, sign Quan Alexander, look out. Look out. That's all I'm saying. Aaron Glenn is coaching these guys up. They're playing very well. It's impressive. I will wholly admit I was very upset, rightfully so, with Aaron Glenn in the defense for the first, 5 games of the season. But since the Aubrey Pleasant firing, they've turned around. They're playing great ball. C.J. Snyder signed Darren Payne. Wouldn't mind that either. Wouldn't mind that. You definitely need, whether it's Jalen Carter or Darren Payne, you need another big dude in that middle. We just lost Isaiah Buggs.
Yeah.
He was playing well. I mean, he's not a world beater, but he a big body, eating up space, was playing well in his limited time. He's gone. Benito Jones came in, made some decent plays. But yeah, you need a heavy down there.
Yes.
And hopefully it's Jalen Carter. That's all I'm saying. When I saw Jalen Carter pick up LSU's quarterback like his son
and
at a park with one hand and point to the moon with his next, I was like, Jesus Christ, sign this man right now. The dude is a monster, man. He wrecked that game for Georgia, and he's been doing it all year. He's like Jordan Davis, but more athletic.
Yeah.
Like more effective.
Yes.
It's wild. Jalen Carter is the real deal.
It's crazy because that's the one, right? It's crazy. We were so on board with Will Anderson hype train, which I still am. I definitely would not mind having Will Anderson Jr. on this team at all. But the fact that we already have Aiden Hutchinson, and the fact that we've seen him develop throughout the entire season, he's now in the 2-point stance at times. He's making a valiant effort at applying other pass rush moves, because in the beginning it wasn't looking too hot. But that's why you have coaching, right? I mean, you had him have a conversation with Aaron Glenn, and you love that they're open to that conversation too, because they're former players themselves. So he's actually willing to open up his freaking ear hole and hey, listen to me! Yeah, and actually have the conversation hey, coach, I think I'm better at the 2-point stance. I can see more of the things that's going on. And then he puts him in it, and now we see Aiden Hutchinson start to include some of these other pass rush moves outside the bull rush. Malcolm Rodriguez. I mean, I feel like he was just dropped down earth to play football. I'm giving coaching credit for sure, but I knew that kid was going to ball no matter where he was going. Kirby Joseph, probably the most prime example outside maybe Jeff Okudah, is this is only his second year playing the safety position, and it just so happens to be at the NFL level, and he just so happens to be one of the highest ranked defensive backs in turnovers in the entire league this year.
And that's what I said. When we broke down the film, we did after the draft, we broke down all the film of the Lions players, and I was like, yeah, Kirby Joseph, watching him at Illinois, seeing him, seeing Michigan State play Illinois, watching this guy play in his career, he's a ball hawk. That's what he does. He gets to the ball. He makes turnovers. They even said it when they drafted him. They're like, this guy's going to be a project. So, obviously, I was like, I don't know if he's going to start. I don't know if he's going to play that much, but I think he can be a good – and dude got his opportunity. He's just been farting. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. The man's going out there and balling, dude. I love it. Aaron Glenn is coaching these guys up. Like you said, that was my biggest thing at the beginning of the year. I wasn't mad with – obviously, I'm mad that they're losing.
Because you knew they were young.
I knew they were young. I knew they were lacking of talent, so I wasn't mad with them losing, but I didn't see adjustments being made. I didn't see adjustments from the coaching staff or the players. and then it flipped.
Yeah.
And then they stand up Aiden, and then they move him around, and then they're putting different people in different places, letting them doing different things. And that's what you need. You need to adjust. You need to adjust on the fly. And they did. They have been, and they're seeing the results from it.
Yeah, and honestly, too, I think it's a little bit more than that as well, too, because you have the guys just getting to know each other. I remember a bunch of press conferences. Dan Campbell was like, look, we have to, like, guys don't trust each other, so try to like make up for more than what they're designed to do on a certain play. These guys aren't only new to the league, but they're also new to each other, and they're gaining that trust around their teammates, and quite clearly it's showing.
And Jake, we got to go to break real quick, but before we do, I just want to acknowledge this. Jacob in the Woodward Sports chat says we can sign or get a good linebacker later in the draft. I agree. There's not a stud linebacker in the draft this year. You can get somebody later. But like I said, my wish list for the Detroit Lions defense is Jalen Carter, 1, and with their first pick, Joey Porter Jr. with their second pick, and sign Quan Alexander. And that'll be a top 15 defense next year.